and happy new year. And I'm just here to tell you today that things are changing. The favorite topic of everybody is change. Just figure I'd hit you right with it right at the beginning. We're going to kind of go into it a bit though. 2025 was amazing. It really was. And I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. And a lot of things happened in 2025 that I'm very happy about. One of which being engaged, I know. And then also just like pursuing new things. I've been very happy. 2025 was good. But with that, it is going to change some things in 2026. All for the good, all for the better. But I did want to let you guys know, and I'm going to be posting this kind of on everywhere, my Patreon, places that hopefully my Twitch people will see. I guess I can upload it to Twitch, but I don't know if people even watch uploaded videos on Twitch. But just kind of everywhere because things will be changing on how, I don't know, I guess my projects get done, kind of. So if you don't know, every quarter I go through my goals and I reprioritize things and I figure out what this next quarter is going to look like. For the most part, a lot of things don't change, but sometimes they do, and this is one of those that it really did. It changed a lot. One of the main things that kind of catapulted changing everything is Gefiltha and I, we did a run back in November, and I love running. I'm very good at it, I used to run. I used to get lots of medals for running, and yeah, I stopped, for various reasons, and I just never picked it back up. And I'm going to now. And with that means that training has to happen. We have another run coming up in November of 2026, and I would like to be able to run the entire way without any walking. That's not something I've been able to do for a long time. I've done multiple half marathons, half marathons, and I've never ran them straight through. I ran and walked. I had pretty decent times, but I would like to just be able to run the entire way and not like a jog, like actually run the entire way. So that's one of my major goals for this year. And with that takes time. And as I mentioned, we got engaged. And so I have to start wedding planning. We both will be, obviously. But yeah, that also is going to take time away from my usual time slots for my other projects. And then also in this last month off, I take usually December off. I kind of did a mid-December to mid-January, but this year. But I realized that I have so many projects around the house that I'm just never getting to because I always have other stuff to do. And I need to prioritize them because some of them are a bit more, not serious, nothing's breaking. But stuff that I really want to get to sooner rather than later than never, because that's what it was ending up being. So that will also be taking time away from projects. It's not going to be bad, though. I know it kind of sounds like, oh my gosh, she's never going to do anything ever again. I will. We'll get into it. So I guess let me start with the things that are not going to change. I'm still going to be streaming every single week on Twitch. And those streams are still going to be going up onto YouTube every week on YouTube. But yeah, those are going to stay consistent. I might miss a week of streaming, obviously. But those are still my plans, is to still stream every week. Is to still do my October streams, that I have more streams during. To have fun holiday streams, like for the Twitch anniversary, for Valentine's Day. I usually do a dating sim during that time. So I'm still doing streaming. That was one of my main, my top goals after all this other stuff that I was just talking about. I wanted to make sure I do stream because I love it, for one. And I feel like that is the best connection that we have together. It's live, obviously, and it's playing video games. It's all stuff I love. So, yeah, I will be streaming. There will be YouTube videos of them. We are still going to be doing our podcast every 2 weeks, our gaming podcast. That one will change a little bit, just because really, Gefilda's also gotten a lot of new opportunities, a lot of new projects, and a lot of them happen during the weekends, which is when we would record our podcasts. So we are going to have to shorten them, which maybe some of you will be very big fans of, because some of them went for really long times with some ramblings. It's still going to be all the same stuff. We're still doing gaming news. We're still going to be highlighting different indie games and other games that are coming out. We're still going to be going over, whatever conventions, showcases, stuff like that come out for gaming. We're still going to be doing the same stuff. It'll just be shorter. Probably not that much shorter because we still like to talk a lot. But they will be a little bit shorter, but they're still going to be coming out every 2 weeks. And for my Patreon people, your stuff is all going to stay the same. I'm still going to do weekly vlogs. I'm still going to do weekly posts. And I did already post on Patreon that I'm not going to do the Patreon story poll for stream games. That was a very weird way of saying it. There's not going to be any more polls on Patreon for Twitch games for you guys to decide, which I don't think will impact anybody because Gefilda was the only one doing it. Anyways, so there's just going to be no more of that. I don't know why I keep saying it like that, because I have so many games that I really want to play in 2026. I have them all listed out, and I'm just going to kind of pick from there. I think it'll just be easier for me to schedule things out, especially with new releases, especially with holiday games I want to do. Stuff like that will just make it a bit easier on me to schedule. So yeah, I've already told you guys on Patreon about that though. Yeah. And that's where things end for what's staying the same. For most people, I don't think you're even going to notice any difference. This is a lot for my Patreon people or people who are really staying up to date with the projects I am working on. So with all of this added stuff, I kind of only have maybe 1 or 2 time slots of project time allotted within a week. Obviously, that will kind of vary from week to week, but that's kind of what it's looking like right now. Like 1 to 2, maybe 3 sometimes. Of time that I could slot working on my projects. Versus, I guess, to give you an idea, if you're not familiar, no, I don't think anybody is but me. So before I would have so I'd have like 5 for Monday through Friday, except for Thursday would be 2, so 6. Excuse me, so 6. So 6 slots from Monday through Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, maybe I'd have 2 for each day. So 10, probably like 10 slots throughout the week for projects. So that's why I'm like, for me, it feels like, wow, this is going to be a big change. But I really feel like for most of you, you probably won't even notice. And that's good. That's great. I did have to come to quite a big term with it. Because I love working on, my projects every single week. Every single week I would work on Callista, my Discord bot. Every single week I'd work on making something for Etsy or MakerPlace. Every single week I would record an extra video for YouTube. So that's that Halo series that I'm doing right now. I loved doing that, and I can't do it anymore just because I went from 10 slots to 3. Potentially 3. So I think it's mostly 3, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, it's a big change for me. So if you're interested in kind of knowing the in-depth, what I do, well then go to Patreon. But really, Patreon is a great way to actually keep up with everything I'm doing. I like to post the vlogs. The vlogs are nice. I would definitely go for that tier, and I'm not just saying that because I would get more money from it, because that's just factually what would happen, but I do put more detail into it than the posts that I also post every week for the lower tier. I love doing those. They will look different just because of, obviously, the different type of content that's going to be happening, or the different type of projects slot times They're probably not going to be as long. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, so getting into the nitty gritty of it all. When I first, I guess, so now, because I'm like, when I first get off of my month off, I'm off of it. That's why we're here. I'm going to start working on my planner. If you didn't know, on Etsy, I have a quarterly planner that I use religiously and helps me get all my things done. It can help you too. But I have right now up to quarter 3 of 2026 created, and I'm pivoting to a new type where I actually don't have to make it every single quarter, but you can use it every single quarter. So I'm revamping all these steps that I guess instruct you guys to take to, reach your own goals and how I do things and stuff. I'm revamping all of that, and I'm making it into a just basically an instruction booklet that you could buy one time or you could buy every time. I would probably buy one every time for me personally because I like to write in it, and it helps me. I tried actually doing it in just a plain notebook for this last quarter. I hated it. So I know personally I will be buying it every quarter, and you can or you cannot. There's also going to be, I already have a digital version of it, but I'm going to in the same revamp of this, I'm going to update that digital version. So if you want the digital version, you can also do that as well. So yeah, it's kind of really up to whatever. But I want to finish that. I kind of want to get to it sooner rather than later so that I can, be ready. I have until quarter 3 of 2026 technically till I want to have the next one up. But I'd like to just kind of get it out of the way. So I'm going to work on those first. And then after that, it becomes more of like chunks of projects, kind of like that was actually. I'm going to be working on Calista for a chunk of time, then recording those Halo YouTube videos for a chunk of time, doing my dev work for a chunk of time, making things for Etsy for a chunk of time. So basically, the reason for that is, before, as I said, when I had 10 time slots, I could work on everything every single week. I did one day of Calista, next week I would also do Calista. That's just not feasible anymore when I might have one slot. So potentially I'd work on Calista once every 5 weeks. Guess what? When I come back to Calista, the Discord bot, I'm going to forget what I was working on 5 weeks ago, So I think instead, the only logical thing I could think of was to, work on Calista until I hit a good stopping point where I probably would want to release Calista, a new version of it. Also, with Calista, I might, right now I'm updating Calista so that it can be added to more than 100 servers, which is wild. So I was like, I wonder actually how many Calista the Discord bot has right now. Currently in 79 servers. So luckily it hasn't hit 100 yet. I was kind of worried. But right now for Calista, I'm making it so that it can get into more than 100 servers because I can finally do that. So I'm doing some back-end work on that. I also have some other back-end work that I'm working on. None of it is front-end, so basically you guys would never see any changes with it. Even though I will update Calista, there should at least be no change visible to you guys, to people using the bot. And I think maybe after that, I might be done with Calista. And not done. If somebody has something that they want me to add to Calista, I'd be happy to. But I personally cannot think of anything else that I want to add to Calista to make her better. So I think after that, I will kind of be done. So, that's kind of where I'm at with that one as well. So I probably will finish off my Calista backend work and release, and then just kind of, when people want stuff, I'll do it. But until then, I'll just be making sure that everything's running fine, making sure all the vulnerabilities are updated, things like that. But yeah, it's kind of crazy because I've been working on this bot for a long time. So the first iteration of this bot was Caster, and that was 7 years ago. That's wild. And then I first released Callista 6.5 years ago. So I've been working on Callista for 6.5 years. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, in that time, I think I've gone to a place where I'm very happy with it. And of course, I'm happy to work on it more, but I just personally can't ever think of anything more to add that would be of any use. So maybe Callista work will be done. Um, yeah, but obviously still supported, still running, still still being able to be alive. So Callista still will be there. I don't want to alarm anybody. Then after I finish that work, then I'm gonna go into kind of rotations of the full chunks of stuff. So, once again, playing a Halo game once every 4 weeks, I'm definitely gonna forget what happened in the story 4 weeks ago. So I'm gonna play an entire full Halo game in 1 or 2 weeks, record all those videos, and then obviously put them out once a week once they're completely finished. So that's makes sense to me. That way I don't forget what happened in the story, and I'm still creating all that content going forward. Same with making things for Etsy and MakerPlace. Instead of doing it once every 4 weeks, you get it. I'm just going to create a full item from start to finish, release it, and then move on to the next thing on my list. Because it makes sense. Now, the hard part after all that will be actually my dev project that I have. I haven't really talked about it openly because it's in very, very, very early stages. But I have talked about it on Patreon. It's a working title. I don't really even like the title, but it's a working title called Magical Cafe. And yeah, this is the one that's really killing me the most of this whole change, is not being able to work on it every single week. I wish I could. I cannot see how it could be possible without, giving up something that I don't really want to give up. So I will be working on Magical Cafe still because I still want to make it. But I think I'm going to work on it because that one's harder also because there's not like an end time. It's going to be like years and years and years. Developing a game takes a while. Developing a story takes forever. So yeah, I'm going to work on it in chunks that I guess I'll find a nice end point when I'm like, okay, I think that this is a good stopping point for this and I can continue on to the next thing. It's a little bit more loosey-goosey for that one. But that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. We'll see, because I do reevaluate my goals every quarter. So we'll see in quarter 2 if I still feel this way. I probably won't make a YouTube video about it, but I just felt like, coming into 2026, I kind of wanted to make, I don't know, a plans. Here's my plans for this year video. I am very excited. I feel like this last part was kind of a downer because I feel bad for having to not do everything. But I know it's for the better. I know I really need to do it. And maybe in another quarter, I'll be like, you know what? I'm going a little too heavy on, not working out because running has to happen. But maybe some other stuff, maybe like my home projects. Maybe I'm like, oh, I'm actually pumping them out really quick now, too quick, then they're building up. So, maybe things will change in that sense. But we'll see. We'll kind of have to see what happens. But I am very excited for this next year. This last year ended out really well, and I am very hopeful for 2026. I have a lot of projects that I'm excited about. There's a lot of things that I kind of want to work towards. One thing being really getting back into photography, and I guess I already am very back into photography, but I would love to find a way to make a profit from it, honestly. I would like to sell my photography, but I don't know the best way to go about it. But right now I am just taking lots of photos. I do know you can hold me to it. um, 2027, I'm going to have a calendar, and it's going to have photos that I have taken myself in it. And I'm very excited for it because I think that would be a great way to be able to sell my photography, so that you could technically cut out, or maybe it would be very cool if I could find a calendar that was perforated, and you could just kind of tear it off. I've heard of other photography art people doing stuff like that. That would be very cool. I don't know how much that costs though. But you could cut it out and like hang the photos or frame them however you want. I think that'd be very cool. And I also just want to do it. I don't know. I love calendars. I meticulously pick out every calendar that we have for our kitchen. And I don't know, I would love to make one. And I've been wanting to do one, but this year it really came to me that I was like, I need to do this next year. And mostly because I've been doing digital and film photography. I've been doing it for, 15 years. Oh my gosh. I started with film and I've gone into film and digital now. That's crazy. but I've been doing it, but I now, instead of developing my own film, I send my film off so somebody else can develop it, because I am so nervous, because I just don't do it enough anymore. I'm always so nervous about messing up the film. And I got some of that film back, and it was gorgeous. It was so pretty. Here, I'm gonna post the photo here of the one that I really loved and is 100% going to be in the calendar. I just love the look of it so much. And I would love if I can have every single photo in this calendar be film, but I also understand that I might not be able to, because for December and January specifically, I want them to be snowy. Because there's snow here in New Jersey. It's very cool. So I've been taking snow photos, but I also am not skilled in taking film snow photos, because I've been around such little snow, until these last 2 years. So I'm hoping that they come out. I took multiple, obviously, and I changed settings and whatever. I hope that they come out. If not, I have digital ones of the exact same photo. So we'll see how that all goes and how that all plays out. But I would love to make them all film if I can. But we'll see. There for sure is going to be a 2027 calendar, though, and I cannot wait. I really am so excited for it. And, I kind of, with that, photography is like a big focus for me right now. Because a lot of things are happening, like today. An aurora might be happening tonight, or even right now. I guess it is like past sunset. It was happening earlier, and then I was like, but it's bright daylight, so that's not helpful. Yeah, the KP index is still pretty high. Could be higher. It might teeter off tonight, though, so we'll see. But stuff like that is something that I'm just going to have to on the fly be like, okay, I got to go and cancel whatever plans I did have and take photos. So yeah, I'm making photography a big priority. Even right now, I don't know if you could even hear it. Probably not. Maybe, though. You might have heard slight clicks. Every 5 minutes for me, probably not for you, though, because of editing. I am literally taking photos of grass growing right now. I will insert that here, because it's very cool. I don't know. I've been very into time lapses, and so it's taking a photo every 5 minutes to compile this. So yeah, it's very exciting. I've been very into it. I'm really loving getting back into things that I used to be into, and I just kind of gave up for multiple reasons, and now I'm like, I'm going back because that's what I really want. So I'm very excited for it, and I hope that I can maybe find some different photography opportunities to kind of explore in 2026 as well. And that's really it. I think I covered everything. And I just wanted to let you guys know what is happening. And that is what is happening. Actually, you know what though? At the end here, I should note that I don't have a PC right now. I obviously have a PC that I am filming this on. My streaming PC. Yeah, that's true. I have multiple PCs. I have my streaming PC. I have a living room PC that is now my main PC, and then I have my actual main PC that is dead. Yeah, it's dead because I've heard a squeak just like last week. Last week I heard a squeak in it and I pinpointed it down to the graphics card. And so Asus was like, yep, you're going to have to send us your graphics card. And I was like, really? Because this is kind of my main PC. And I was just about to start getting back into all of this stuff. So that is putting a damper on streaming, really. Luckily, if everything works out, I haven't tested it, I should be able to stream on the Switch without needing a PC, obviously, because I'll be streaming from the Switch. So I think that will work as long as everything cooperates perfectly. I think I should be good there. But yeah, I might be a Switch streamer for a little bit. Which was perfect timing, actually, because I was going to stream anyways Animal Crossing New Horizons 3.0 update. I haven't seen my villagers in forever. I'm sure they miss me. But I was like, maybe I'll just play some of that and see all the changes. People seem to be pretty happy with it. So yeah, luckily I was already going to do that, but it might be for a couple weeks that we are just doing Switch games. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I hope that I can get the graphics card back sooner rather than later. Today, as of filming, January 20th, it just arrived at the Asus place or whatever, or maybe Republic of Gaming. I don't know if they have different areas, but it just arrived there. So hopefully they get to it quickly and then they send it back across the entire states because it's all the way in California. So yeah, it took forever for it to get there. I think a literal week. I think it took literally a week for it to arrive. That's been rough. But we'll see. I don't think that's going to affect anything other than streams, because everything else, like I said, I'm going to be working on my planner first thing, and I can do that on my laptop or on my laptop. That's what I'll be doing it on, which is also starting to die. But that's because it's old. It should be dying soon. I already have some great spooky games for us to play. Oh, you know what? Gosh, I keep trying to end. And then I think of stuff that you guys should know to be excited. Let's go back to being excited. We're excited about things. More VR streams. That is what's happening in 2026. I want to play more VR. I had it set to like one VR game every quarter. No, I'm going to do one at least every 2 months. So 6 VR games, potentially. I have so many that are coming out in 2026 that look so good and I cannot wait. But I also have some that I just, have and I want to play. So I am very excited. That was the second stream of this year that I want to do if I get the PC back. But I'm so excited for 2026. I was about to say 2024. 2026 for that. I cannot wait to play so many more VR games. And I do have a big list of games to play that I really want to get to. So I'm very excited for this next year. I think that is it. I think I'm done. I'm done talking your ear off. This has been a longer video than I intended. But yeah, I'm excited for this next year. I will see you guys in the next video or live on Twitch, whichever one comes first, or over on Patreon, whatever comes first for you. Thank you guys for watching and supporting. And yeah, if you have any questions, concerns, whatever, leave them down in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.